America, they're at it again. KD and Stephen A. I'm gonna have to call them frenemies. You know what I'm saying? Because they've had their moments in the past, but then I see they get cordial again. You know what I'm saying? Like Stephen A. will go on KD's joint boardroom and they chop it up and all that kind of stuff. But here they are again. If you missed it, America, Stephen A. gave one of his horrible takes, which is he gonna give you at least one of those per week now. I keep telling you, we come for a fucking check, okay? But he says that Michael Jordan changed the game for the worse. And to be fair to Stephen A., he tried to say that his remarks were no slight at Michael Jordan. He said that Michael Jordan was so good that David Stern and the league in general therefore tried to market the individual rather than the team, and that led to the game being individualized instead of being team oriented. And instead of Steph Curry really hurting the game, it's really Michael Jordan that hurt the game. Kevin Durant felt some type of way about that because y'all know KD loves basketball history. Particularly, he talks about studying Michael Jordan. And so he felt some type of way about that. And y'all know KD does not mind letting you know his feelings on Twitter. Sound like me.
Burner file.
Well, not
You.
now that the burner been called out, he has no problem putting his name on it now. So he in turn said that people like Stephen A., Skip Bayless, and Shannon Sharp are the ones who have actually made the game worse, and that Michael Jordan, Steph Curry, they moved the game forward. Now, y'all already know Stephen A. felt some type of way about that. You know, Stephen A. can talk about you like a dog, but you're not finna comfort him in his media guys. So he fired back at Stephen A. Excuse me, at KD, letting him know we ain't going nowhere. KD fires back with a meme of Stephen A.
Yep.
saying no one cares or something like that.
Yeah.
So y'all know this led to media figures on all these sports talk shows feeling like they had to defend themselves, and they went after KD. Okay. Now my brother Tim G. Jacob had something on his mind in regards to this latest fiasco between these brothers. I have no idea what he's about to say, America. He did not let me know in the pre-show meeting what his thoughts were. So I'm about to hear for the first time, just like y'all are. Tell you how you feeling about this latest beef between KD and Stephen A.
So Pusha T put out an album called "It's Almost Dry."
He did.
And this is what you got right now when it comes to the NBA and needing storylines. It's almost dry. Stephen A., as great as he is at what he does, I think it's got to a point now, in my opinion, that social media needs something every week.
Mm-hmm.
They need something. It's kind of like a barrel fire. Y'all, if y'all know what I'm talking about, sitting around at a gathering and somebody starts the barrel up and you know it's cold outside and you just need a little heat. Eventually that barrel ain't gonna last forever. So you gotta do what? You gotta throw a little more wood in that fire. You know what I'm saying? Just to keep the embers hot,
Mm-hmm.
keep things rolling. That's what I see. I see Stephen A saying something that is so out of left field. It's like, okay, why did you say that? Did you say that to get clicks, likes, follows, views, whatever? Because this ain't no secret. Michael Jordan was the cash cow in our era. After Magic, after Bird, it was Mike. Now, Chuck told you he wasn't a role model. Got
Mm-hmm.
it. Hakeem just wowed you with his play. Pat Ewing was a Nick, and okay, he didn't have big deals, but Pat Ewing was a notable player. There was a lot of notable players in the league. Like I don't know who you would consider the number two to Mike in that era. I'm talking now post Magic, post Bird. Like when this became the new sheriff in town, as Mike told them in the '92 Olympics. After that, who was the number two? You really don't know who you could put there. I don't know if you could consider somebody like solidify and say that's the guy. You couldn't. So yeah, the NBA had to do what they had to do. You didn't get 120 to 119 games. You didn't get those kind of games. You got 95 to 92. You might have gotten over 90 even. So I say all that to say this. The game's just different now. Stephen A has sat on here on my TV and told me that KD is still the best player in the world. He has told me that Mama Durant didn't appreciate what he said about his boy, her boy. So her son, not boy, but her son, and she checked him, and he had to come back and get right with Mama Durant.
Mm-hmm.
He's constantly just telling you this, that, and the third about Kevin Durant's greatness, and he knows Kevin Durant is great. Okay, so Stephen A says what he says about MJ, but again, you got a guy like KD, who we know has burner phones, don't like the least little slight. Like he don't use those slights the way Mike did. Mike used any slight to his advantage. KD don't. That's the difference. Now he says that guys like Mike and Steph will push the game forward, and people like Stephen A, Skip Shannon, they just set it back. They two totally different things. To me, the talking heads are gonna be the talking heads. They're never gonna stop. They're not going anywhere. As long as people feed into it and pay attention to it, the talking heads are not going anywhere. I don't know why KD felt the need to go comment on it, to be honest with you. Maybe he was one of the things where it's like, okay, it's asinine that you bring Mike into the conversation and say that Mike turned the game for the worse, because that was crazy. And maybe he just spoke on the fact to Stephen A that, hey, that was a dumb comment. I agree. Because Mike didn't do nothing but what Mike do, and that's be great. And you can penalize a man for being great, but Mike was just great, and he kept the league alone. Let's just remember too now, when did Mike start making 30 mil?
97.
Late in his career.
Mm-hmm.
Late. These boys get out of bed and make 30 million. And they ain't got to show up to work. Mike at least said, I'm going to show up to work. So if KD's going to back Mike in that way, because I believe that's what he's saying. He's saying, Mike pushed the game forward. Steph pushed the game forward. I respect these guys, whatever. Then be like that. That's my only problem. It's like KD's siding with Mike. He's backing Mike or protecting Mike in a sense, but he's not giving me Mike type results.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I'm betting there's probably plenty of other players out there that might have said something about this. Maybe KD is the forefront guy. But then Stephen A too, I think he just said it for clickbait. What he said about Michael Jordan was clickbait, because I'm just sitting here and I'm like, okay, he's sitting here, he's talking in front of Molly, Mad Dog. And he's like, again, like I said last week, he wanted to go way too deep into it.
Mm-hmm.
And it don't need to be said, but he's got to do something to keep people entertained and watching. They're hyperbolic. My brother just said it earlier in the segment. It's what it is. But at the end of the day, these two guys like each other.
Think so?
Yeah, they like each other. They like each other. And I just think what KD said, was fun because again, he just got his butt whooped for nothing by the team that's in the finals. I ain't gonna say, I ain't gonna talk about that no more. But so he got some stuff to do. And again, it's funny because Kevin Durant is supposed to be the greatest player in the world, but he is not in front of our television tomorrow. Think about it. And I personally think Kevin Durant can make people great. I think Kevin Durant can be what LeBron James has been. Like if Kevin Durant was in the East, I think Kevin Durant would run the East in his earlier years, like
Oh, okay.
early KD, hungry KD. I think he could have done the East the way LeBron did. I
Mhm.
personally think that. But I think now KD's comfortable. He's made his money. He's made his business decisions. He's doing things. He's getting breaded. And I think it's just good now that, hey, don't forget about me. I'm KD. Meanwhile, there's a guy named Giannis over there in the small market that's just basically coming along and saying, I ain't got to talk. I just play. And it's at a point now in the NBA where it's like choose who you will side with. Pick a fence. Pick a side of the fence. Don't be either. Like, I don't want you to say you like KD and Giannis. I don't want you to do that no more. Pick your guy. Giannis is my guy. You want to talk about best in the NBA? When we drop this NBA top 10 or 15, I'm already telling you right now, Giannis is the best player on that team. And I just told you Jokic is going to win the MVP, but I'm telling you, Giannis is the best player in my top 10. That's your segue.
Mhm.
That's your like clue. He number one. Nah, you figure out 2 through 10. So, but it's cap. It really is cap to me. It really is cap to me because I don't feel no ways about it. I just think Stephen A is like Howard Cosell and KD's Ali, or however you want to look at it. It's just entertainment. It really is entertainment. I don't give it no. I don't give it no attention. I really don't.
Stephen A getting to the point now that he's on TV so damn long that he's starting to say shit that he thinks sounds smart that's really fucking dumb. Cause he just on TV all day long. He ain't got time to really watch nothing for real, for real. He ain't got time to really study the game like he would for real, for real. Like when he was out there in the streets as a reporter, shit, you had to know what the hell you doing because you got to write about this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Can't nobody just really just can't no producers just kind of bring you a sheet of paper with some stats and then you just spit out some shit and you loud and entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
He had to really do something.
Mm-hmm.
Now he just be talking, but he think he's saying some really smart shit. You know what I'm saying? Where instead of saying facts,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? Like that's fucking crazy to say that Mike hurt the game or made the game worse. Even when you're trying to say from an individualized standpoint, the basketball of it. Once they got Phil Jackson, they run a damn motion offense. The triangle offense is a motion offense where you got to be passing that bitch around, everybody getting a touch and stuff like that. Now Mike might end up shooting that bitch, but if you go look at that team, shit, that's who should shoot it. Like when you compare, he compared it to Bird and Magic and stuff like that. And I think somebody pointed that out. Maybe to him, or maybe they were speaking to somebody else. Shit, Bird and Magic got Hall of Famers around them that
He
are
spoke on it.
buckets.
He spoke on it. He spoke on it because he spoke on like Magic having Jamal Wilkes and
Magic,
Worthy and
let's go first to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
well, he was saying on the break, you got this guy on the wing, that guy on the wing, and then if it don't work secondarily, you got Kareem. You slow it down, you got to go to Kareem.
Boom. Okay. And then with Bird, you got these guys that can score the ball as well. They telling me, and from what I saw, Kevin McHale post game is legendary. That boy, in the series I watched the Celtics play against the Bulls, Kevin McHale is stupid on the block.
He cold with it.
You can't name a Bull that just had an offensive bag
Nope.
other than Mike.
Nope.
Pip can score, but you wouldn't say Pip got a bag. Pip can score in transition for you. Pip hit that little mid-range shot off the glass for you. Pip had that transition tray ball. Love that. You know what I'm talking about? Pip get a step on you, he'll dunk on your goddamn ass.
Yep.
But Pip ain't had no like for real bag. Like you go to that 94 game that everybody talks about where he wanted the last shot. In the possession before that, it was ugly because Pip it got clamped up. It's like his game wasn't like that. He was a great player, but you can't look and say, well, Magic got Kareem. He got a guy down there that got an amazing post game. Got the unstoppable shot of all time. You got, like I said, with Mikhail, top 5 post game ever. So you got to be individualized on that end. Now, on that other end, the Chicago Bulls play some of the best team defense ever.
Exactly.
And if folks want to leave out that team aspect, those guys played such great, especially those early Bulls. America, go back and watch first 3-peat Bulls, and you might see why Horace Grant be a little pissed too. How them boys were running presses, dog. Full court press, have Horace Grant at the top of the press as your power forward, and have them dogs, Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan, as your wings and stuff like that, hawking guys down, trapping, stealing the ball and stuff like that. Great team defense. You know what I'm saying? That's a team part too. You know what I'm saying? So that's asinine what he said. And I don't mind KD calling him out on that because KD just seemed to love ball. And if I can call Stephen A out, I'll say KD can call him out as well. Now, what's interesting to me is what you just said, that last part. That these guys actually like each other and that it's just friendly banter back and forth. And I'm saying they're at it again and they beefing. But you know what? You probably right. Because we've seen them go here before. I think like maybe one time Stephen A tried to get personal. Remember we talked about he looked in the camera and said,
"You don't want me back on the road." I don't want to be on the road, but he like, you don't want me back on the road.
Oh, like what is he? What was Stephen A threatening to do?
Nothing.
I was like, is he finna out these boys' affairs or something like that? Is this boy what was he threatening to tell us,
Nothing.
T?
The man just told us on national TV that Russell Westbrook's father told him basically, he G-checked it. He basically said, "Hey man, you need to cool out on my son now."
Well, Papa Westbrook need to go see about Skip Bayless. That shit personal with Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless don't like the fact that Oklahoma City likes, which is his hometown, likes Russell Westbrook more than they do him. He said that they booed him when he went home.
You're not a boy, Skip.
He don't like that.
You're not a guy.
And so that is the other
play with.
How this is my last thing on the team. This would really get me. The media be calling KD sensitive for responding to critics. But when KD criticizes them, they respond to KD.
And look, and back it up. This is what he said. He said, I'm trying to find what Skip said about the KD thing, about what KD said. He was petty. Here it is. Hey, Kevin Durant, as an embarrassed longtime defender, supporter of yours, I just wish you had the same energy for the Celtics you do for your usual bashing of media critics. The Celtics made you and me look sorry. Enjoy watching the finals. So it's like, okay, all right, cool. You said that, basically telling us that you was a supporter of him. But it's like, okay, at the same moment, you off of him, but you was on him, but you off of him now. That's the thing I don't understand about him. And again, I'll tell you the other thing. Why do you pay him so much?
Who that?
these media guys.
They getting them ratings, too.
And it's like,
Getting them ratings.
America, that's y'all job. See, that's what I'm saying. See, that bag, and as my brother would say, he coming for his check.
Got to have it.
That's why we saying what we saying. Because you got guys like these guys who I personally have no desire to interview or talk to on a day-to-day. I don't want to.
I just want to whoop them in a debate because they don't be know what the fuck they be talking about. And the facts is out here.
And that'd be great. That would be great TV. And my thing is this. Y'all talking about stuff that it's like, okay, look, just say, look, I respect Tony Kornheiser more by saying I went to bed. I didn't watch this West Coast game.
He does tell us that.
Like I'm good with that.
He
you
be honest.
Went to sleep. I do that too.
That boy Tony be so honest.
Tony say I'm going to bed. Like I didn't watch it. I'm great with that. Thank you.
And then Will Bud be getting on them. The OGs. Look, I think I shouted them out earlier.
Yeah.
Shout out to the OGs.
But they keep it a buck.
Yeah,
come on, man. Like I ain't got time to be up all night trying to watch this, man. Like,
especially if it's a trash game. Them boys. The boys.
Like don't nobody want to watch the Kings and the Clippers. Like I don't want to watch that.
But at least I know back in them boys' day for real. Like these two newspaper men for real.
Yeah.
They used to go by back and really.
But that's why I respect those two guys because they ain't trying to go at nobody. Yeah. And they ain't trying to keep their name hot.
They gonna give their opinion.
They'll give their opinion. And if you don't like
it don't seem shock job.
No.
What they do really seem like what me and you do. It ain't unfiltered. Even though I think both of those men probably talk like us.
Well, it's unfiltered. It's unfiltered because
I think both of those men talk like us. Now, they do
Tony
have. They start with a dirty joke every episode.
Tony come off early
for 20 years.
They've been doing it for a long time.
For 20 years, they start with a dirty joke, and a lot of time that joke used to have to do with a golden girl or something like that for a while. Mm-hmm. But you could tell that they genuinely like each other. Mm-hmm. It ain't no with Skip and Shannon. It's that's Skip Bayless's show.
Yep.
With First Take, that's Stephen A's show.
Hence why Max ain't there.
And somebody trying to son the other one.
Mm-hmm.
It's those brothers love each other. They love each other's families. And you just get to hear them just go for 30 minutes. They love all sports. And boys talk about golf and hockey with just as much enthusiasm.
Nobody else gives you that. Nobody else gives you that.
Just as much enthusiasm as they do anything else. And they be really unproblematic.
Yep.
I really don't be seeing KD, Dame, Russ, and none of these cats get mad at them like that.
Nope.
And they'll come for you.
Yep.
If you need to be they'll come for you in terms of your play.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because Wilburn showing up and tell you, get out of here with this junk. Out of this junk. Yep. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But those guys are respected. So and that's crazy that we in there because when we started put it on some, those guys were in mind. You know what I'm saying? Because we are brothers and we love each other. And we were like, man, these two men, they sit here and talk like that. But they do it on a daily basis for 30 minutes. What if we can just do a weekly show and talk? You know what I'm talking about? Yep. So shout out to them. Yeah. They can keep their check. But these other motherfuckers in America
always keep their check.
They keep their check. But the Stephen A's of the world and all them kind of folk, they got to see us.
They got to give me a check.
They got to
give me something. I want Chris Broussard check first.
No doubt about it. Put it on something. My kids wanted me to tell y'all to make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me across all social media platforms. Like the videos and share them. Did I forget anything?
And turn on the post notifications.
Y'all heard them. And also, visit Statement Tees, LLC.com and shop with us. That's Statement Tees. Every t-shirt you wear
makes a statement.